Assalamu alaikum. In this demo, I'll be discussing the deployment of a Lambda layer and then using that particular Lambda layer into Lambda functions. All right, so what exactly is a Lambda layer? So a Lambda layer is essentially a zip archive that has libraries and other particular dependencies that are imported at runtime. Now, what happens is that by default, the any specific runtime, by default, Lambda, AWS Lambda does not provide all the packages and all support for all the runtimes, right? So in multiple cases, we need like support for some packages, and now those packages we would need to download them one by one, or we would need to get them privately, or we would need to provide them with each Lambda function. So what layer does that layer essentially we can create a zip archive that has like multiple libraries and other sort of dependencies, and those dependencies and packages would be imported at runtime of that Lambda function. And of course, this is useful for if you have many you say Lambda functions having the same sort of dependencies. Instead of uploading those dependencies per each Lambda function, we can create a common layer and upload those dependencies over there, and then call those layers inside each of these Lambda functions. All right. Excuse me. Now, let's have a look. Okay, so this is a simple Lambda function, and by default, by default, AWS Lambda does not support NumPy. Uh, right, this package is not available in the Python 3.9 runtime. Right, so if I run this, see, error message is here, unable to import module Lambda function. Actually, no module named NumPy, so NumPy is not available in this package. Right. Similarly, I have another piler 2. I have another Lambda function, and let me and I have no layers or other anything attached. See, this function is also unable to import NumPy because this NumPy is not available. So what we can do is that we have to get those packages and upload them as a zip file in our Lambda layer. Like, let's get a new layer. Even though I've created some old ones, let me create a new one just for this demo. All right, I'm gonna call this NumPy final. Okay, so what I've done is that uh, instead of using a Docker or maybe Cloud9 in order to get the function. Okay, so before that, what I was doing was that I was using my own Python interpreter for the which is available in my Windows laptop. So I made a function called this function, and then I imported Lambda. Sorry, then I imported NumPy, and then installed the NumPy's dependencies in a package, so in a file, and then I uploaded this zip file onto my layer. So when I was testing this layer, obviously, as this has been developed, this has been made on a Windows version. It was not compatible with the Lambdas because Lambdas learn on Amazon Linux, right? Our Lambda functions run on Amazon Linux, and this was from Windows. So this both of these were not compatible. So I was not able to run my functions, right? So what I've done is that I went to the PyPy, which is the repository for Python libraries, and then I went to NumPy, and then I downloaded the NumPy for library for the Linux-based library for Python 3.9. See, so I downloaded this. I have downloaded this file, and then what I did was that I had to make a folder. Let me show you that folder. I made a folder. Okay, so this is that file. This is the folder, and I had to unzip this file over here, so that in a file named Python, right? So instead of directly uploading this, I had to unzip this in a folder because I saw this in a tutorial or so, where they have asked us to create a folder named Python, and then and we have to put all our dependencies and all our libraries in this folder, and then we'll zip this folder and then upload it to our Lambda layer, right? So in order to zip this, sorry, unzip this, essentially the wheel whr wheel file is Python are the Python libraries which are in a simple zip format. So in order to zip this, I use git bash, and then I can show you. Okay, so I went to the directory, and then simply unzip this, and this is okay. This is quite long. So this is unzipped, and then I have that file over here. And then of course I put it into a folder, and then zipped it back up, and then I shall upload this on to my Lambda layer. This contains numpy lib for Linux, right? And I upload this as a zip file. The architecture is going to be x86. Bismillah. Alright, this is gonna take a minute or two, so I'm gonna pause the video. Alright, so the Lambda layer has been deployed. My zip function has been uploaded. So sorry, I haven't yet deployed this layer, but my function has been uploaded over here. See, contains numpy library for Linux. Now let us go back to my Lambda function. Let's attach layers. Add a layer. Custom layers. It should be sad py layer numpy. Let me just check the name. Sad layer numpy file. Okay. Hmm, hmm, hmm. No. Okay. Where is my layer? Hmm. I think I've lost my layer. Right? Sad py layer numpy. Wait. No, not this one. Okay, where did my layer go? What? Okay, something strange happened and I cannot find my layer. Uh, just let me have a look at it again. Alright, so it is somehow now magically appeared back. I don't know what happened. I think what happened was that it takes some time to come back. I'm not exactly sure, but somehow it is back. But I couldn't see it a minute or two ago. Yeah. So Bismillah, let me deploy my layer over here. Come on, why can I solve the number file? Let me refresh this again. I don't know why. Somehow I'm not able to, call this layer back over here. I don't know what is happening. See, these are my older layers, but I somehow cannot call my new layer, which is this one. Let me try this for my other function. See, I have this layer available, but I don't know why I'm not able to call this in my Lambda function. Okay, so these are my two Lambda functions. let me call my layer back over here. Just taking a lot of time. You can see that I have my layer available over here, Southland amplifier, but I don't know why I'm not able to call this over here, even though the internet seems to be working properly, and the proxy isn't on. I don't know. All right, let me add a layer, custom layer. Let me. Come on, yaar. I'm not able to call this layer. Let me try in this function. And I'm not able to call this layer over here. Let me pause this video and come back again. All right, so the problem that happened was that I had forgotten to add the runtime. Because the runtime was not available, I was not able to call this lambda. Sorry, I was not able to call this layer in my function, because my function has runtime path in 3.9, and as the compatible runtime was undefined, so it was not calling this layer, right? So now I have uploaded another layer. Sorry, I've like made another version of this, where I've uploaded this again, and I've defined the layer properly. Sorry, the runtime properly. Right, so let's go back to my function. Now I can see that I can call my function over here, solid numpy file, and the version is 2, where in the previous one I had forgotten to add the runtime, so the runtime is undefined, and now in this one I have added the runtime as Python 3.9. So let's add this layer over here, and let's go to my other function. Okay, let me show you my function. So it's working. So I'll add my layer in this one. Let it. Okay, so this layer has been added over here, and I'll add the same layer in my function number 2. See, no layer has been added over here. Now let me add a layer, and that would be my south layer numpy final version will be 2, and we'll add this layer over here. Now in the meantime, while this is being added, let me test this function. Bismillah. All right, so we can see that the function code is working properly, and we get our output, which is a simple n by array, one dimensional array, and the print the type, which is be nd array. Just should mean, yeah, this is an n by nd array, and we also printing back the array that we have defined. And let's go back to my function. Other function, I have deployed the layer over here, the same layer over here, into different lambda functions. I'm going to test this one as well. So let me show you the code before that. Okay, this is a single dimension layer, 2-dimension, 3-dimension layer. Sorry, 3-dimension array, and we're gonna see that its dimensions been printed. See, this is a 0, 1, 2, 3. We have like this is a 0-dimension array, 1, 2, and 3 dimension, and we're getting the correct result because it is working. Now, for instance, if I remove this layer, oh no, sorry, I wanted to remove that. Now, if I remove this layer, I won't be able to run this function. See, lambda model not found. But okay, it's getting a syntax error in line number 7, even though this should not be here. But the thing is that this doesn't work. Lambda function dot py lambda 7. So even though this should not work, but it's happening anyway. All right, so I think this is enough for the demonstration. See you again on the next time.